Welcome everyone to the one and only Porterverse Workbench. And this is a surprising little model. Given all the teaser photos I was dropping earlier in the week, you're probably thinking it's going to be someone like Connor Kenji. But no! It is Speedster Toby.
You just got coconut mold.
So I guarantee how y'all are wondering, how in the flying fuck does this even work in the Porterverse? Considering that this doesn't look anything like Toby minus the paint scheme. Well, that's what this video is for. So before we go into all the model work and how I built it, let's go into the official backstory of this Speedster Toby dummy unit in the Porterverse. Here we go. During the glory days of Dale Thomas events, civil railways across the world are trying to cash in on that iconic blue train marketability. And one such railway, which I've mentioned many times before, was trying to build as many dummy units as possible for random characters, mostly using random bits and pieces they had just lying around. And these dummy units included characters like Thomas, Percy, Henry, Gordon, and a few others as well. And it also included Toby. And Toby was planning to join an event as well. The original plan was to have a box van given fake side plates and was going to be like the dummy they push around because it was square. But about a week before the actual event was to take place, the box van suffered a horrible accident and had to be scrapped. And so the railway panicked and got pretty desperate, and they sent out a bunch of representatives to try to find any sort of engine husks or parts they can salvage to build a replacement within a week. One such representative got very lucky as they found a theme park engine that was being sold. And so the representative quickly bought it and had it hauled off to the locomotive works at its railway. And so the theme park engine was given a new chassis to fit and was painted into the Toby colors with 7 on the sides. And the work was fully finished on the last day before the event. Thankfully the event was reported to have done pretty well, despite almost everyone being confused as hell about Toby's design. When the railway went under in 2002, the Speedster Toby, as it was colloquially called, was never sold and was just placed in a barn that was owned by the representative that found it. And the barn happened to be close by to the railroad tracks. And so in 2010, a certain Thomas on tour saw it when the door was open one day. It is said that the Speedster Toby is still in the barn today, just collecting dust. The model of this Speedster Toby has very interesting origins. You see, a while back I was in a Walmart just running errands for the family and everything, and I figured I might as well check by the toy aisle and see what little things I could possibly find for any model work. And I went to the toy aisle and there was they had a few push-along engines that were on clearance. And this one I bought Kana and Sandy, both of which I turned into models. It was like $2 as well. It was a really good deal. Like all the other goobers, I took the whole body apart and then painted each piece of the body in their respective colors. I then took the front of the face, cut off the nose and sanded it down to make sure all of the decals are off, and then I sharpened it over with silver. I like to think that the face was painted over to avoid any legality of having the engine exposed in the barn. Anyway, so once most of the cosmetic work was done, I then took a 6-wheel bogie from an old tender and slightly modified it to fit under the running board. After reassembling the model after the paint was all dry, I gave the whole thing a matte clear coat. This is very, very important. So after all that, the Goober Toby has been completed. The Goober army continues to grow. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Porterverse Workbench, and I shall see you all in the next one.